I don't have any glasses. Good morning, guys. Welcome in. Actually, let me grab. I got some trash. Hey, someone already gave me the thumbs up. Appreciate you being in here. If you are in here and you are a regular viewer, you know where I'm at. I'm out here at the Mandeville Lakefront. Let's see. I had a little job this morning, just floating some sheetrock from the other day. So, if you know anything about floating sheetrock, you float it and you let it dry. And then you float it and you let it dry. And then you float it and then you let it dry. And then if you gotta do it one more time, you float it and you let it dry. And then you sand it. And then you texture it and let it dry. And then you prime it and let it dry. And then you paint it. And if you gotta do a second coat, let it dry, then put a final coat on. So I'm in the float it, let it dry process of the drywall repair right now. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I see one person in here, but they're almost done with the construction out here. So new configuration at the Mandeville Lakefront. Normally you would parallel park right here, but they actually put parking spots in here now, which makes sense so you can maximize how many people can park in these spots. Normally people would pull in and just park lengthwise, which is just kind of, it's the easy thing to do. Excuse me. Still dealing with the sinuses. It's springtime and the pollen is relentless out here. Whoa, it jumped from like 2 people to 16 people that fast. Cool. Welcome in. All right, the water, we're definitely getting a southeast wind. The water is coming in. We built the new bulkhead. Hey, Enrico, welcome in. Number six, you're number 16, huh? I'm fishing the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway this morning. There's the Causeway Bridge way over there. I'll try not to be shaky. It looks like a bus. What is that over there? It's a big car. There's the bridge that goes all the way across Lake Pontchartrain in southeast Louisiana. I'm zoomed in, so I'll try not to make you sick. That's the seawall. But that bridge goes all the way across to New Orleans. I'm on the North Shore today. Water's kind of muddy today. That's what happens when you get that south wind on the North Shore. It stirs everything up and muddies it up a good bit. Yep, the bugs are starting to hatch. It's springtime. We're about to disrupt all the seagulls. Yeah, it's muddy over here too. Why is it so muddy? Got a few comments in the past few days, few weeks. Watch all the seagulls fly away. The people don't like. There they go. Hundreds of seagulls. Let's try not to hook one today. But like I was about to say, I get a lot of comments like people don't like watching my videos because they're afraid I'm gonna fall off of this wall one day, which is always a possibility. But this is just kind of what I'm stuck to fish out here. Let you guys. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Thousands of seagulls means thousands of seagull poops. Ugh, so gross. Oh, you got terns and seagulls mixed in here together. It's not just all seagulls. You got some terns. If you don't know what terns are, they're a sea bird. We call them, I've heard them called lyre birds out here. You might know them as lyre birds. Ooh, stinks out here. I guess they're eating good. They wouldn't be hanging out here if there wasn't any food. Man, I don't like the way the water looks right now. Sny, welcome in. Key, welcome in. Good morning. Look at where I'm fishing at, Key. Walk the planky, matey. It looks like I'm walking on water. All right, first cast of the morning. But you know, I gotta put that shrimp pro cure on. Oh, there's a bunch of glass minnows. That's good. It's a good sign. I should ask. Well, you guys are popping in. I'm assuming that the audio is working. Let's see. Where's my pro cure? I have my microphone on. It looks like I had good signal. Let's see. Yeah, I got the green light. So awesome. Thank you, Sny. Appreciate you. I feel like I need to check that every time now, because with the without the microphone, if it's just the phone, like I know my phone microphone is gonna work most of the time, but with the wireless mic, I know that's not always a guaranteed. So I appreciate you guys giving me the feedback on that. Oh, I can't wait to shake these freaking allergies, man. Procure, don't leave home without it. It hadn't really been doing me too good though lately, so I did catch the alligator gar and the white trout, white bass out here though. So that's pretty good. Maybe things are turning around. Well, I know things are turning around. It's springtime. This is when things start to happen again. But man, the water is muddy this morning. My goodness. I guess, yeah, it's probably a falling tide. So all that muddy water is being sucked out of the canal into the lake. Hold up. On a rising tide, all the lake water will come in and this will clean. Yeah, it's definitely a falling tide. Look at the bubbles. They're going out. So that indicates a falling tide in this location for me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, fish out here on a falling tide typically bite better for some reason. Well, I know why, because this is pulling all the bait out of the canal. And those fish are probably out here waiting to ambush all the bait. If there are any fish out there. Get this wire situation taken care of. I got this wire in my way. That's a little better. Cool. But yeah, I went to work this. I went to the job this morning. Put a float on all the repairs I was working on the other day. So I'm letting the sheetrock mud dry, and there's nothing else going on outside of that job. So I'm gonna let that dry for a couple hours. I'll fish for a couple hours, and then go back to work and put another float on, and then maybe go fish for another couple hours this afternoon if everything works out. Oh man, forgot my sunglasses at home. It's about right. See, we got 12 people showing in here. I don't necessarily think that that count on the screen is always correct because, like, I've seen in other people's lives where it show only like one person in, and there's like 15 people constantly on the chat talking. So who knows if that's like accurate or not? I think it's more of a yeah, there's about this many people in here. I don't think it's a true show of how many people are actually watching, but who knows? I could be wrong. Let's see, who else is in here? Joe! Hey, Duda, welcome in. Duda. Now that I know what your handle means. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Oh, let me. Who else? And so, looks like a lot of people popping in. Huh. Oh man, oh man. Let's see. Chandler, welcome in. Or Chandler. Mr. Ron, welcome in. Yeah, Mr. Ron, I have a sheetrock repair going on. I think you might have popped in that live when I was tearing all the tape out. So now I'm floating all the joints. But in the meantime, I gotta let all that dry. So in between floats, I get to come out here to the beautiful Mandeville Lakefront and throw a lure for a few minutes. See what we can run into. I'm out here on the seawall. The water's real muddy right now, but just because it's muddy on the surface doesn't mean that it's muddy at the bottom. You know, sometimes that salt, if there's salt water in here, that salt water is heavier than the fresh water. So maybe 5 feet below all this fresh water, it might be clear. So it's always a possibility. There might actually be some clean water under this dirty water. But yeah, I'm just kind of in between work right now and dry time. And you guys know this is what I do in between jobs and all that fun stuff. Sometimes my jobs, I'm like these last few jobs, I was there all day. Like I didn't have a chance to take a break. Um, we finished up those big jobs. I got a couple big jobs coming up. So to go back to me not fishing as regular, but the little sheetrock job is giving me a chance to come back out. So there you go. Beautiful morning out here. Probably 72 degrees with a southeast wind blowing about 10 miles an hour in southeast Louisiana. For those that don't know where I'm at, it's about, what is it, 9:22. That was a bite. That was a bite right at the wall. Um, that was not a mullet. That was 100% a bite. Let's put some more shrimp procure on here. Well, let's take a few casts right here in the spot and see if we can convince whatever that was to bite the hook. It might be another white bass. I wish I had a rig. I might have to put my lighter set up in my car too. Try to catch a few of those white bass because they're small, so they're gonna hit the tail of my lure that I have on right now. I did switch over to a crappie jig last time though when I caught that one white bass, and they did not want the little crappie jig. They wanted the big lure. So I guess that's just the way it goes. It was funny because I was curious. So last time when I caught that white bass, I switched over to the crappie lure, a little smaller lure. Threw it for probably 15 minutes. Did not get a single bite. Changed my cadence up, let it sink, let it fall, did a steady retrieve, all the things. Not a single bite. The second I switched over to a larger bait, I started getting hits again. Pretty nice little cruising boat right there. Wakeboard boat. There's a guy coming out in his sailboat. I see him every day now. Every time I come out here, I see this guy going out or in. That is so cool. I can see his flag in the back. This guy has a very distinct yellow flag on the back of his vessel. That boat's getting up and going. Bye. He said, peace. Sorry, Paul. Hey. Yep, I muted myself on accident somehow. I don't know how I did that. Thank you. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. That's the only downside about not being able to hear people. Yep, I'm muted. Albie says he hates this pier, and he doesn't want me hearing. He hates. I do have an annoying laugh. I hate when I laugh and I hear it back. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna fall in the water today. Albie hates it out here. That's hilarious. Oh, I'm going back in the chat. Rocky, welcome in. Fist bumps to SJ. Albie, if I fall in, you need to come rescue me, bro. I don't know how it muted. It must have been muted for a while. You guys have been blowing up the chat. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, appreciate you, SJ. I'm laughing. I'm back. Hey, if you're not laughing, something's wrong, right? I used to hang out. There was a guy I used to work for back in the day, and one of my co-employees, dude, we were so sarcastic with each other. It was ridiculous. I kind of miss all that. Those were some fun times. But like it was a type of crew, like if you weren't messing with each other and being sarcastic and cutting up and just like, you know, mess just joking around, like something was wrong. Like if you were serious, there's something wrong. You know what I mean? It was that kind of crew. I don't know how I muted it. I apologize, guys. I meant to try that out because there's a mute button on the microphone, and then I have the mute option on my phone as well. But I wanted to use the mute button on my phone to override the mute button on the microphone because I don't trust muting the microphone because I can't hear what you guys hear. I wonder if there's a way to do like a monitor. I need to get like an in-ear monitor so I can hear what I'm saying and know that it's muted. Excuse me. Maybe today's the day I catch a fish on this side. Who knows? If you're new to the channel, I typically fish on this side of the balance beam, as you guys call it, the pier of death. Albie, so like, no, don't worry about me too much. It's only like 2 or 3 feet deep on this side, okay? So if I fall over on this side, I'm okay. If I fall over on this side, it's about 5 to 6 feet deep right here, and then it goes down to like 20 feet deep. So, but I know how to swim, and as long as I don't hit my head, I'll be all right. That's not a bad idea though to like wear a life jacket out here because like, okay, I know how to swim, right? Well, what if I hit my head and knock myself out? Which that does happen a lot, unfortunately, to people. Like you can drown in 6 inches of water. I mean, you hit your head and you land face down. I mean, that's it. You're done. That's a big old turtle over there. I would love to catch a flounder over here, man. I've always heard the and I talk about this all the time. On this side, there used to be a lot of grass and a lot of structure. And the past few hurricanes and all the construction has pretty much obliterated. Oh, wait, there's some grass. Hey, maybe the grass is coming back. I'll have to fish weedless over here. But there was a bunch of grass, like eel grass or turtle grass, however you want to call it. And the fish would thrive in there. Tell you what, let's make a cast down the wall just to keep them honest. The plank of death. It's really wide though. Like, I mean, well, I say that. I guess that's not really that wide. Let's see here. So it's about 1.5 wide, 2 feet wide. I mean, for me, that's wide because I used to skateboard and all that fun stuff. And, you get on a ramp on a 8-inch wide skateboard. Sometimes it's narrower, like 7.5-inch skateboard. 2 feet wide seems like that's pretty wide. Now, I mean, if I catch another 5-foot alligator gar, there's a good chance that I might get pulled in. If that makes you feel better. There's another sailboat going out. Come on, fish. You're supposed to be in here by now. I think next week I'm gonna, my goodness. Next week I'm going to fish the New Orleans lakefront seawall, one afternoon, evening after work. And I'm gonna try to collaborate with Arizona Outdoors. But last night I was watching his live and I found out that Arizona has stuck with daylight savings time. No, standard time. So they're stuck in standard time. Their time does not shift. So now he's 2 hours behind me. So that would put us in a tricky spot because I can start my live around 5 o'clock, but that would put him having to start around, like, if he started at 4 o'clock, I'm already fishing for 2 hours at 6 o'clock. And then I might only be able to fish until 9. So, we might only be able to collaborate for a couple hours. I still think it would be worth it because, it's fun to collaborate with people. But what I'll probably do is just go live when I go fish by myself. And actually, a couple people are going to join me. So that'll be fun. And then when Tim's ready to join the party, he can jump. He'll call me. His phone calls can get through because we've been collaborating. So I kind of let that happen. And then we can go live for a couple hours. Should be fun. It's a pretty nice sailboat. Well, if anything, you guys are getting to see some nice boats today. The sailboats, the power boats. Probably see a little 16-foot aluminum flatboat. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Some of these guys are crazy out here. They'll go out in that lake in a little, like, 14-foot flatboat when it's like 2 or 3 foot chops. Like, you guys are. Those people are the ones that have the death wish, Albie. You will not see me doing anything stupid like that. I've learned my limits over the years. I know when I can push it and when I need to stop pushing it. This is not even anywhere near my limit fishing on this little bitty plank. It does look pretty sketch though. I guess if you were watching it from, like, on your guys' point of view, I do understand that. I'm gonna hop back in the chat here in a second and see what's going on with you guys. What's good? Really appreciate it, everyone. I guess he's probably getting to work. He popped in here earlier. Real of Life 423. If you haven't subscribed and checked his channel, you need to. Yeah, is Rivers in here? Hey, Rivers, welcome in, man. Hey, Albie, there's this man, I might go live and do that one day. There's this place I go to. Well, I go down to, like, Grand Isle and go fish and whatever. But on the way back, there's this little, like, market, and they sell, like, gator on a stick. It's not like an actual, like, whole alligator. I mean, it's like ground up gator. Gator on a stick, gator boudin, gator balls, all kinds of stuff. Not gator testicles. I'll keep it to that. Let's see here for what did you do with the iPhone? Oh, Mr. Ron, that if you're still in here, that iPhone, I just turned it into AT&T. I wish like I wish I had the forethought to say that on the live that which AT&T store I returned it to. But I sure did. I brought it back to the AT&T store because I mean not everyone has AT&T, but chances are pretty high that it was from AT&T, you know. So I did bring it back to the phone store. Hopefully that person got their phone back and still charming. Where the carps are. Let's see. Catch a big gar. Paul said catch a big gar. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Mr. Ron, we are definitely seeing your text. You were in here. Oh, you're heading this way Sunday? Cool. Um, I remember you saying you were coming out here, but you're gonna be a little far like by Raceland and all that if I'm correct, right? Albie said I'm gonna drown. I'm talking to you in sign language. Man, you guys are blowing up the chat. Okay, no audio. All right, that's where I corrected everything. Cool. I think I caught up. Sorry about that, guys. You guys are like, Paul, I'm not chumming for there's no well, there could be carp out here. I don't know if there's carp on the North Shore. Yeah, I've hit my head one too many times, Paul. That's probably why I'm doing what I'm doing. Albie said he needs at least 5 feet of concrete. Josie, this is brackish water. It's mix of salt and fresh water. I know, I always get you guys confused because one day I'm fishing for crappie and the next day I'm catching speckled trout. Hey, SJ, gator does not taste like fish. If it's cooked and prepared properly, it actually kind of tastes like chicken. Like, like the old saying, tastes like chicken. It's like a tougher chicken, but if it's cooked right and marinated right, it's not even that tough. Gator meat is really good. It's really clean. Like if you ever seen anyone process an alligator, it's actually like it's white meat. It's really clean meat. Let's see here. I'm a bad man, huh? Albie, I think I appreciate that you DCP, welcome in. Sorry, I'm a little behind on chats. I've been fishing. I'm checking on the chats. Oh yeah, the name of my music channel is Ferg, Ferg, not F, not FRE, Ferg, Ferg, not Frag. Jams, Gams, Jams. Let me slow down here. My brain is ahead of my speech. Ferg, Jams, Ferg Jams. I do need to put another video up. I'm kind of waiting to get to 50 subscribers so I can just go live on that and have some fun. Uh, Charn Johnson. Fishing is mediocre today. Had a couple bites. And speaking of, I'm gonna get back to fishing. We had a couple bites so far, nothing to dance and scream around about. It could have been just some mullet that I drug the lure across and bumped their heads, but it felt like a couple really solid bites though. Like I know when I bump bait, and you can just feel it you can feel it bump, but something hit it and ran. So I don't know what it was. It could be a multitude of it could it could be anything. Oh, come on, allergies. Oh, that was horrible. Mr. Ron, yeah, so going back to you, I remember you said you're coming out here. You're going to Raceland though, but if you're out in the area next week, let me know because I can probably get out and go fish with you if you're bringing the boat. If you're still in here, yeah, Ferg Jams. Pin that. Boom. Nice. Appreciate you, DCP. Ron, yo, what's up, man? Welcome in. Me and you are on like opposite fishing schedules. You fish in the afternoon after work and your stuff, and I fish like in the morning and between jobs and stuff. It's pretty cool. I was yesterday on the job that I was on. I'm starting to like I put my headphones in while I'm working, and I just let people's lives run. And if I hear someone catching a fish, like I'll come in and chat and all that. But there's an osprey. Let's see if he gets. Let's see. Can you see the osprey? Oh man, where's the osprey? He's going. He's gone. You can't see him. There's an osprey. Osprey. Man, that's a nice boat too. The speckled trout must be biting out a bridge. There's too many boats going out right now. I bet the speckled trout bite is on the causeway. Mr. Ron, I'm gonna check it in a second if you're still in here. If you're coming out here with your boat, I might be able to pull away and get on the boat with you next week. We finished a couple big jobs. I we do have some bigger stuff coming up, but I can pill out if I have to. I'm not gonna say I'm not tied down because I gotta work. But if you're coming out and you're coming fishing, I think next week I can definitely hop out, get out there, and get on the boat with you. I'm gonna check back in the chat real quick and see if you replied. Well, we can't see your chat in here, Mr. Ron. You're not like blocked or anything crazy like that. I know you asked that a lot, and like your notifications don't. Nah, we definitely see. I see everyone who comments for sure. Um, I only block or delete people that come in here and start acting a fool and start saying stupid stuff. So, and most of my moderators are pretty much on the same page as me on who to remove and all that fun stuff. So, like I said, house rules, keep it clean, guys. Most of you guys know that I have a family channel. I like to keep it clean in here just in case we have a younger audience and or we have an audience that doesn't care to hear all the profanity and vulgarness and all that, which I'm a believer that there's too many words in our vocabulary to say the F bomb every 5 seconds, you know? I get it. I'm not hating on how if that's your preferred language. Do not I'm not offended and I hope you're not offended that I don't talk that way. So it's just not how I prefer to talk. I never have. Like even when I was a young kid, like funny story, guy. Let me check and see if Mr. Ron replied because I don't want to miss his comment. Let's see here. Ron, yo. Albie's like, I'm safe. I'm on land, kissing the ground. Let's see. I think Mr. Ron has left the chat, or he might be busy. He might be back to work. Let's see. Gator meat's so good. Rivers popped in. Let's see here. Checking the chat, guys. See my mug? There's my mug. Oh, I don't have glasses on today. Normally I have glasses on. It's funny when people have glasses and then they take them off. You're like, oh, that's what they look like. Let's see. Oh, no. Albany, Georgia. All right. Cool. Welcome in. I have I have family out in Georgia, in-laws, and my wife and I will probably go out there. Food. Albie, well, if you don't know what the F-bomb is, it's an American term. Albie, where are you at? I think you're in New Jersey, right? I think you're up north with DCP. But yeah, like some people, oh yeah, going back to my funny story. So speaking of like, you know, not talking with curse words, swear words, profane language, however you would prefer to say it. I used to get made fun of when I said curse words. I don't know why. People in Louisiana, I swear, they speak a different language. I grew up in Denver, so I grew accustomed to Denver terminology, and then when I moved out here, people thought I was an alien or something. They're like, "Where did you come from?" I'm like, "Where did I land?" But I have grown to love South Louisiana. Well, I even sound like I'm from here almost, kind of. Louisiana. Can't even say it right. Um, so when I was young, this is the funny story about why I talk the way it's not why I talk the way. I mean, I chose to just not speak with profane language. So there was a time in junior high when I just had enough of being picked on, and everyone used to cuss and whatever and smoke and drink. I'm like, my gosh, what are like a bunch of 12-year-olds doing, drinking and smoking and cussing and whatever? But welcome to the country, right? So everyone's like swearing up a storm and just they literally have no other language. I'm like, is that all the terminology you have? You just want to like every other word's a cuss word? Cool. You guys are awesome. And that's how I felt, cause like, I'm not saying I was a smart kid. I mean, I was a pretty smart kid. I worked hard. Let's just say that. Like, I worked hard for my education. I wanted to better my gosh, I'm gonna stop talking here in a few minutes, guys. I'm sure you're tired of me coughing. But, I worked really hard for my education, and, what is that, a bald eagle? Or an no, it's an osprey. That thing just dive bombed on a fish. That was epic. So I worked really hard for my education and studied hard, and I wanted to better myself in life. Which if you sound educated, you're already on your way, right? If you can talk with lawyers and doctors, and you can talk with a plumber and an electrician in the same breath, you're going places. At least that's in my mindset. That's how I grew up thinking. You know, um, grew up in poverty, all that. Just never had anything, and that's a common story. There's a lot of us that have been in that same situation. But to get out of that situation, I knew I had to do something different than my peers and my family and everyone around me. I couldn't act a certain way. So that's why I choose to speak the way I speak. Now, sometimes I sound like I'm very uneducated and it's fishing, guys. I'm not going to come out here and start throwing a whole bunch of intellectual conversation and whatever. Like, I can go there if I want to. Honestly, I'm kind of losing it because I just don't use it anymore. And, you know, I mean, I can talk construction all day and like I'll blow your mind by just like what you can do, like this and that and blah blah blah, and inside to outside cuts and whatever. Like I have more of a carpenter mind right now because that's just what I do for a living. But I was studying to become a veterinarian, and I almost minored I was like one semester away from minoring in Spanish. I was pretty much an English major by the time I got my associate's degree. I went back, finished my associate's degree. I almost have enough education for a bachelor's. It's just the way it worked out for me in college. Let's see. Let me get back. Hey, Tim, welcome in. Um, oh, if you're still in here and you got a second, Tim, I'm gonna I'll text you or we can call before next week. But I did not know that your time zone does not change. So now you are 2 hours behind me. So when we try to go live together next week, it's gonna be tricky. Like we're gonna have to. I don't know your work schedule, cause I know you started fishing early yesterday, so that was kind of cool to know. So I'll probably be getting started between 5:30 and 6, just depending on when I get off of work and when my wife and I can get back. So we might only have 2 to 3 hours to actually do a live because I need to shut it down around 9 o'clock my time. But if you get on around 6:30 my time, that still gives gives us a solid 2.5 3 hours to collaborate. What I'll probably do is go live before you, and then you can text me and say, "Hey, I'm ready to do it." Then I'll hop off of my live, and then I'll open up the collaboration if that makes sense. So anyway, that's crazy, man. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you get up early. Okay, so man, you probably come home, take a nap, and then get to fishing. We'll keep in touch and we'll keep in touch and figure out a schedule on how to do this, especially with that time change. The summer hopefully a microphone helps like cut that junk out too. I don't know if it has a compressor or not. Oh, I can see way better like that. Um, 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 Checking back in the chat too. Oh, appreciate you, Char. Yeah. I was talking the whole time and you guys were just listening. Just left Alexandria. Okay, cool. So you're down here in Louisiana too. But yeah, Tim, we'll figure it out. I still definitely want to do the collaboration. Do some garlic infused marshmallows and orange pills, and we'll throw some other bait too. And I'll have a couple other people out there potentially. So one of the guys' kids wants his grandkid to catch an alligator gar, or his grandson wants to catch an alligator gar. So we'll probably set him up with some cut mullet, try to get him on a big gar. Yep, Tim's at work right now, but I think he got what I said. Straight to fishing. Cool. All right. Well, the collab will work great then if you're gonna if you can get straight to fishing. So yeah, awesome. No naps required. You're a beast. I couldn't do that, man. I did. I used to work overnights at home. I worked overnights at Home Depot after my motorcycle wreck because it was the only thing I could really do. That was brutal. I would go like 3 days without sleep. My body could not shut down. And after the third day, my body just gave up, and I finally got to sleep for a few hours, and then back to it, and like another 2 or 3 days without sleep. Overnight schedules were insane. I did that for like 8 months, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. And then I picked up a job as a janitor. So I worked at Home Depot for Home Depot. How did it work? Oh no, I was a janitor first. After my motorcycle wreck, a buddy hired me on to clean Home Depot. They were subcontracted, so I was the guy with the little auto scrubber up and down the aisles in Home Depot. And I made Home Depot sparkle though, that's for sure. And then when I got better, Home Depot saw the store manager. He wasn't supposed to do it, and I probably shouldn't say this in public, but he saw how hard I worked. He's like, "You're not like a normal janitor person." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm like an actual hardworking guy that cares about improving my life." So they hired me, and then I worked overnights for quite a few months, and my body just couldn't handle the overnight schedule. So I never could adjust. So now I'm back to doing what I do. Yeah, dude, those graveyard shifts are insane. All right, I'm gonna get back to fishing. Oh yeah, well I'll talk as long as my voice will allow me. If you guys are still interested in hearing my life story. So anyway, wanted to better my life. dev- Um, Devoted my life to education. Worked really hard. Studied really hard. In college, I ran cross country for. I was in the NCAA. I ran cross country. I worked at the animal hospital, and I took 18 hours. My course load was 18 hours, I worked a part-time job, and I ran cross country in college. So you can imagine. I don't know how I did that. That's probably what prepared me to work overnights. Because I mean, I just don't know when if I ever slept. Like I look back at it, and I'm like, when did I sleep? I know I ate a whole bunch though. I had the unlit. So I got really good grades. I got tops, all that stuff. And I got room and board, and I had like unlimited cafeteria access, like unlimited meal plan. So I like when I wasn't running, when I wasn't working at the animal hospital, when I wasn't studying, and when I wasn't in class, I was eating. And I think I might have slept somewhere in between all of that. But I guess that's what you can do when you're young and just like, you know, when you're young. I'm not that young anymore. I'm not old, but I'm not that young. And I just, no way I can do that. No way I can do that. So anyway, I worked really hard. Ended up having kids before I finished college, and then raised kids for the next 15 years or so after that, and just worked really hard and worked up to like 4 jobs. There was this there was a certain point in time I literally had 4 jobs. I um I did the home. I've always been in home repairs. I've always done construction of some sort. Just growing up, that's just the way I grew up. So I always had that. Then I worked at J.C. Penney for a little. Like I had a weird shift at J.C. Penney unloading the trucks. Then I was a manager selling Christmas trees. So I did this a couple years in a row. It was intense. It was literally 4 jobs. I had the construction stuff. I'd work part-time on that. Worked at J.C. Penney, sold Christmas trees, and cut grass. It was insane. And all physical jobs. It wasn't just like chilling behind a desk, like unloading a truck for J.C. Penney. I'm not gonna say it was like hard labor, but you couldn't stop. Like you had to beat a dead. Like you had to have the truck unloaded for a certain time. You had to fold all the clothes for a certain time, put them on the racks for a certain time, put them out on the floor for a certain time, put it in back stock for a certain time. It was pretty intense. Like I said, it wasn't like physically demanding, but you're on a time frame, and I hate being on a time frame. If you know me at all, I'm like, I don't want to be on a time frame. I don't want to have to finish something, at a certain time. I just want to be able to do what I do and, like I do now, thankfully. The Lord has blessed me to be in a position I'm in right now. But that's from all the hard work and all the blah 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 blah. So that's half the reason why I don't talk. I talk the way I talk, and I just chose that life. So there you go. Short story of my whole life. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I could go into like, I mean, man, my life. Everyone has a story. Like if you don't have a story, you haven't lived. That's how I feel. Like if you're just like, yeah, I grew up here and I did this, and that's all I know. Like if you don't have a story to tell, I mean, we all have the bad times. We all have the good times. The good times, bad times, and I have my share. I love Led Zeppelin, by the way. They were before me, before my time. Actually, Robert Plant, or is it Jimmy? No, Robert Plant's coming out here to play in New Orleans pretty soon. I wouldn't mind going to see Robert Plant. I love rock and roll. I know I'm all over the map this morning, guys. Let me get on the chat before I go all over the map even more. Another rabbit trail, as we call them. And I'm not muted. Good. All right, Arizona. Thanks for popping in. Welcome to the world, life and fishing with Ferg. Appreciate you, Albie. DCP. Oh, you got a chin view. Up. You know me. Thank you, Ron. Yo. That's why I don't like the chest mount too much, because, like, oh, I'm glad I check the chat every few minutes. You just see my chin flapping away. Oh, my gosh. There you go. I'm well off of the plank of death now. So, Albie, I hope you feel better. I wonder what oh, cool. I was wondering what they were gonna do there. My gosh, I'm all over the map this morning, guys. So my brain doesn't quite engage until about 10 o'clock. But this morning it just clicked in a little faster. These are like cool little anchor spots so you can moor up instead of mooring on the pilings. Because, you know, on a boat, you just wrap your rope around there, put your little bumpers so they hit the wood, all that stuff. But it looks like that's an actual anchor point for your rope. That's pretty killer. I was wondering what they were cutting all this cement out for. This is a really cool harbor, too. They got electric and, oh, I'm tripping on their little things. They got electric and water. So I can come out here and, like, wash my hands after I fish and stuff and wash all my tackle. But if I had a sailboat, this would be one of my stops, no doubt, if I was one of those kinds of people that sail around the country. This place, honestly, it wasn't bad before, but they've been doing a lot of upgrades out here, and it's starting to look really nice out here. I have to give Mandeville props. They're starting to work on the fishing piers out here. There's one in Slidell that's it's an epic fishing pier, guys. I can't wait to take you guys out there. There was a highway that crosses the lake over in Slidell called the Twin Span. It got destroyed during Hurricane Katrina, but they left a section of it. So there's a huge, like, 2-lane bridge that they turned into a fishing pier. And they built a ramp up to the bridge, and another hurricane came and destroyed the ramp that they just finished building. It was all wooden, so they're like, you know what? That's okay. We'll rebuild it. You know, we're Louisiana strong. And that's cool. But they rebuilt it the same way. And guess what? As soon as it opened up, another storm came and destroyed it again. You think they would learn. And then that pier's just been shut down. I mean, they built that thing like 10 years ago. And I think it's been open a grand total of 3 months out of the 10 years that it was constructed. So this go around, supposedly they're building it with better materials that can withstand storm surges and hurricanes and all that fun stuff. So we'll see. I'm really excited about that one. And then they're rebuilding the pier out here in Mandeville. And they're going to do the same thing. I think they're going to build it out of better materials to withstand storms and all that stuff. So I'm excited, guys. We'll have like some new fishing spots to fish off the bank. The one in Slidell, I probably won't be able to go to too much because it's going to probably have like the one out here is 24 hours. You can go, but the one in Slidell is kind of close to New Orleans East. So there's a lot of crime and not good activities that go on out in that direction of the world. So they have limited hours. You can't fish out there all night. And if you're a pier fisherman, you frequent the piers, you know that night fishing is the best time to fish on a pier, generally, because the lights attract the bait and the fish and all that stuff. So, I mean, when I say I am all over the map today, guys, I don't know what's going on. I guess I'm starting to feel better. I'm getting all my, like, energy out. I'm like, yeah, I can talk, I can think, I can function. I guess I'm getting better. That's a good sign. All right, 10:18. We have about 40 minutes left of this fishing. I'm going to walk over there to my checkpoint. Fat Cat, welcome in. Yeah, Ronnie, I rinse all my stuff off all the time. There's just enough salt out here to corrode everything. People laugh at me when I do it, but I'm like, man, I don't want to buy a new fishing rod every 2 weeks, you know? Fat Cat, appreciate you joining the show. I'm out here fishing in between a job right now. If you're just popping in, I have a couple hours. Well, I have like 40 minutes to fish now. Just trying to see if we can catch something. Waiting for that spring bite to really kick in, even though it feels like summer out here already. I'm sure the water's still pretty chilly, so. They're rebuilding this gazebo over here. That's pretty cool. I don't know if what they added on. I bet it's like a shed for power. They're doing a lot of upgrades out here. On the other side, they built like a little extension shed. I call it a shed, a lean-to, and they closed it in. It's probably for the power grid. I'm zoomed in. Sorry, guys. I need to pay attention. I felt a couple raindrops. That's not cool. But anyway, they built a power grid, I think, and they're covering it to protect it, and I guess keep people. There's a bunch of copper thieves out here too. I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand why, but I wish that they would just leave the electricity alone and go find somewhere else to steal copper from. Why don't steal copper from public places that we depend on? All right, so this is a crazy story about copper thieves. All right, this is what we deal with out here in the New Orleans area. So, New Orleans and the surrounding area relies on pump stations because we literally live in a bowl. We are below sea level, and if it floods, like if there were no levees and there were no pumps and none of that stuff, New Orleans would constantly be underwater. So there's a pump system and the canal, like those canals I fish in, they're part of a pump system that pumps all of the water in New Orleans out to Lake Pontchartrain and into the Mr. Go, Mississippi River Gulf outlet, all the surrounding areas. So anyway, some copper thief criminals thought it would be a good idea to steal all the copper wiring from one of those pump stations right before prime time peak storm season. So they destroyed a vital pumping station that the area depends on to pump water out so we don't flood. And now the city has to fork out millions of dollars to replace it all. It's like, my gosh, really? Get a life. I understand you gotta steal to go buy your drugs and all the stuff and whatever, but why are you gonna do that to the public? Just go. I don't know. I guess that's their only option. I always try to put myself in other people's positions, but I just don't think I'd put myself. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, but I would always try to find some other option than to do something stupid like that. Yeah, I oil up all my stuff too, Ronyo. It is sad, Albie. Let's see here. Whisker Bent, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Try to say, let's see, Whisker, whose lives do I see you? You're in a lot of other people's lives too. Like, it's funny, we're all kind of like, the community is growing, and all the people that watch lives, we're watching like so many other people's lives. I was just kind of scrolling through a live the other day, and I saw a channel I've never seen before, and saw like several. Real Texas was up in there, and oh, who else? T-Bone. I'm sure you guys have seen T-Bone steak in some chats. So cool to see you guys jumping in here from all the other people's chats. Appreciate you. Whisker, I'm out here in Southeast Louisiana trying to catch a fish. We got about 35 minutes left. That's the little thing I was talking about, though. The electrical overhang. I tell you, they're doing some work over here too. Want to stay out that way. All right, to the giant alligator gar spot. Honestly, if I hook one, I don't think I'd have time to land it. I don't know. I whooped that alligator gar's butt the other day, though. It didn't take me long to wear them out. The thing is, they're so big, and if you play your drag right, you can wear them out pretty fast. I fought some pretty big fish over. Man, like if I think about it, like the giant fish that I've fought, I hadn't fought like bluefin tuna, anything like that caliber big, but I've fought some pretty big fish and I've whipped them. I've had them whipped pretty good, but it doesn't take me long to wear a fish out. It's all about how you use the drag. My gosh, I'm sorry, guys. You play that drag right, you can whip a fish in no time. Black drum, I find, are the Jack Crevalle in this area are the ultimate fighting fish. I think that's the hardest fish to fight per pound, size for size, that whole man. Like a Jack Crevalle will literally fight to its death. It will not stop fighting until it's dead. So you kind of want to like it's a tricky thing with the jacks too, because like they just don't stop fighting. So even if you reel it in fast, fish, you kind of want to play them out so you can land them safely and you don't get hurt, they don't get hurt, whatever. A Jack Crevalle just will not stop fighting. Like it'll literally die fighting. But the black drum, I think a black drum fights differently. It's like a tank. A Jack Crevalle is like a rocket ship that lost its fins, like its directional fins. It's just gonna like blast off and go all over the place. Jack Crevalle like crazy. I love fighting those things. A black drum is just like a tank. It's just gonna take it and it's just gonna pull you. You're not gonna stop it. And but a black drum eventually you can wear out, and it takes a while, and especially in the summertime, to revive them because they've spent all their energy too. They're such a big fish, so you got to kind of be careful with that. You're not gonna keep a big black drum because they're full of worms, unless you like eating the little tapeworms, which I'm not a fan of. Supposedly, they are not harmful to humans. They can't live in human bodies. Oh, there's some music going on. Hold up. You probably can't hear it because it's behind me. Yeah. That kind of sounded like Bootsy Collins. Does anybody know who Bootsy Collins is? I play bass guitar, so I like all those funk musicians. Everybody in the chat. Yeah, doodads everywhere, man. He says I'm Whisker says I'm everywhere. Yeah, hopefully with better cameras they can stop all the crime, but they don't care, man. They'll just cut the wire to the camera and then go to the next light pole and pull all the wires out. Oh, you know Bootsy, huh, Albie? Yeah, that's my kind of music right there. So if you know Bootsy, then you probably know Victor Wooten, Stanley Clark, all those guys. Marcus Miller. Yeah. So I love rock and roll. Going back to that conversation, I actually remembered what I talked about. That's what's the crazy thing is. As many topics as I have bounced around today, I remembered everything I talked about. So I love rock and roll. Just always have. Like Metallica and Nirvana were like my two when I was young, those were like the two bands that I like first really like stuck to. And Led Zeppelin, you know. Later on in life, I became a Rush fan. I didn't really know who Rush was, but I always heard their songs, and I was like, "Oh, that's a dude." And now I'm like, one. I actually got the chance to see Rush before Neil Peart died, so that was epic. Rest in peace, Neil Peart. But I love jazz fusion, and funk. You know, I play bass. I play everything. I'm not like I'm a bass player that plays everything else, that goofs off on everything else. I love playing drums. I'm not a drummer though. I love playing my electric guitar, but I'm not an electric guitarist. I'm a bassist. I can hold the groove down and every now and then put the funk on. As I say, I slap of the bass. I forgot what movie that was off of, but maybe it was like Dude, Where's My Car or something like that. I slap at the bass and I catch of the fish when there are fish to catch. Right now, there's no fish to catch because the water is super muddy and they're finding the clean water somewhere, either back in this canal or out in the lake. They don't want to hang out in here today. What's that one song? Funny story. When my wife and I were dating a few years ago, we went to it's called Celebration in the Oaks. It's a Christmas kind of like they have Christmas lights. You can drive through City Park, all that fun stuff. So it's always a good place to like go on a date, I guess, you know. We were like, hey, that's a cool thing. Let's go do that together. And we were just getting to know each other. And I'm like, hey, I like rock. I like heavy rock and roll. I like jazz. I like all kinds of weird music. And she's like, oh, I like rock too. I'm like, really? Cool. Score. And she meant like nice alternative rock, like the so oh man, I'm going all over the map. All right, here we go. So it's one thing to say I like Pearl Jam, right? A lot of people, oh, I love Pearl Jam. Yeah, oh, Pearl Jam's the best. I'm using Pearl Jam as an example because there's many bands that I can do this with. So you got like radio version Pearl Jam, right? You got oh man, I can't even think of the names of the songs. What are the like common Pearl Jam songs that everyone likes? Like Even Flow, Alive, what's that one? This is one thing I'm horrible at, guys. I can't recall like name. I used to be awesome at it, but I just gave up on it. Um, the one where it's like "You'll be my son." Anyway. They're Pearl Jam songs. I like the B side. I'm a B side guy. I like the B side of the tape. All the cool stuff, the heavier stuff, the stuff you can't hear on the radio. um, Corduroy, Black, all that stuff. I think they did play Corduroy on the radio a little bit though. They played the whole 10 out. 10 was just like their best album. But anyway, if like someone says I like Pearl Jam, I'm like, do you really like Pearl Jam or do you like the two songs on the radio? Because like you don't really know who Pearl Jam is until you start listening to all their other stuff. Man, what's my favorite song? And I like Stevie Wonder, so I was kind of playing all kinds of all the stuff I liked, and I really don't know how she took it. I don't think she was like, I don't know about this dude. And a Bootsy Collins song came on, and it was like, I want to make love to you or something like that. It was just a funny, awkward moment. She's like, "You like this stuff?" Like, well, I mean, I like most of his stuff. It's just this song just happened to come on, and we'll just ride it out and go see where this takes us. Oh, that was a funny date. Oh man. Anyway, there you go. More fishing with Ferg and his whole life story. Part of his life story. I'm not gonna say whole life story. I can't tell you my whole life story because half of you would be crying, half of you would be like, "How are you still alive?" and all that stuff. Scott B in the house. Yvonne, that's a long name. Welcome in. Hey, Fat Cat say you can push the play button like no other. Let's see. Solo's up in the house. Solo, long time no see, bud. Glad to have you in here. Parliament, yeah, George, oh, why can't I think of his name now? Parliament Funk. George Clinton. There it is. He was out here in New Orleans a couple years ago. I wanted to go see him, but it just never happened. I want to go see a lot of people. Hey, thanks for the gift. Whoa, I'll be sending the huff. Man, appreciate you. I'd rather be with you. Yeah, that's it. That's the Bootsy song. And I can't sing it like he sings it because I'd have to hear it and then I'll re-sing it. I can hear it in my head too. You should check out Bootsy Collins if you guys want to try some new music. It's different. I'll listen to some different type of music, that is for sure. Like, I only have one friend. He is a fellow musician too, and we listen to pretty much the same stuff. And he's a carpenter as well, so whenever we work together, we're both jamming to the crazy stuff. And if we're on like a big, he does a lot. He's on new construction jobs. So back in the day when I'd go help him on a new construction, we'd play our stuff and we get some weird looks, man. Everyone's like, "What are you listening to? Can you please turn that off?" Everyone else is wanting to listen to like country and stuff like that. I'm like, "No, I don't do the country music." Most country music. There's some country music I'm okay with. I had this conversation before, I think. Brad Paisley, Alan Jackson, and Garth Brooks, if you can consider Garth Brooks country. He never knows what he wants to be. He wants to be a rock star, then he wants to be a country dude. Garth Brooks is a legend, though. I love that song Rodeo from Garth Brooks. That's probably my favorite Garth Brooks song. Brad Paisley is just an amazing musician. I think that's why, I mean, he's funny. Brad Paisley's funny, he's smart, and he's a great musician. Like, the dude can play guitar. I have a lot of respect for him. That's really my determination on it. What separates most artists from others. Like, are you an actual real musician? Or are you getting paid by a big company that has other people write music for you and you just sing their music? Like, when you can write music and you can play it, man, that's something. That's how I get that's respect, you know? That's who I key into. Real musicians. None of these people that just play the same stuff or rip off of other people's music. I mean, there's a place for covers, there's a place for in someone else's music because there are only a limited amount of chords, but there's an infinite amount of chord possibilities. You know what I mean? But anyway, Yeah, I could talk about music. I love playing music. I love listening to music. Most people in the world do. Music is like outside of is one of the most popular forms of entertainment and ways of keeping our sanity. Still trying to like think of that groove bootsy. It's in my head, but I can't get it out. Let me let that lure sink down for a second. I'll check on the chat, watch something, grab the lure, and take the rod out my hand. I'd rather be with you, yeah. Tony, welcome in. Well, there wasn't too much chat after that. Cool. Let's see, 9 people. We got about 20 minutes, guys. I really appreciate you jumping in here and hanging out with me, occupying a couple hours of our time together. Hopefully, I'm helping you today. You guys are helping my day go by. I definitely know that for a fact. It's one thing to come out here and like fish by myself. Before I started doing this, like I'd come out here and chill and just hang, and I enjoyed my quiet time and all, but I enjoy hanging out with you guys. You know, it's fun chatting it up and kind of keeps my brain distracted from not catching fish until I do catch a fish, and then it's awesome. This is exactly where I caught that gar. And I mean, I just did the same thing. I kind of was talking with you guys and forgot I was fishing, and then all of a sudden the thing almost ripped me off of the dock. That was kind of a rare thing though. Like alligator gar typically won't come after like you it's sheer luck, and that gar just must have really saw my lure and said, "Man, that looks good. I want to eat that thing." Like a gar is not going to actively come after an artificial lure on the average. Not saying that it won't happen because it did happen, but that's just not a common occurrence. Typically, they'll want to go after something that's not going to put up a fight. They can kind of chew on it a little bit, you know. I don't I don't view alligator gar as like a predatorial fish. No, it can be. Like that's when I was trying to pull it up on the bank the other day, like that's a fish you don't want to just like grab. You know what I mean? Their mouth is full of razor sharp teeth. Their scales are armor plated. Their gill flaps are super sharp. Like everything on that fish is built to destroy things, to protect itself and say, nah, don't mess with me. Because if you mess with me, you're not going to end up on the good side. So that's why I was kind of cautious when I hooked that big fish and try to pull them up on that boat ramp right there. That's where I was pulling them up. I had to walk that thing from over there. You guys didn't get to see the whole thing because it was on a tripod. I caught it right there, fought him, had to walk him all the way over here around the boat. I'm replaying this in my head, and that was the funny part when I had to get around that boat right there. And then I had to go around and walk all the way down there and walk him to that boat ramp. So many things could have happened, but I managed to pull him around. It was crazy. But the water today is a lot more muddy than normal. So, they must have had some rain here last night. It didn't, yeah, it did rain pretty hard out here last night. That's what it was. So now they're getting all the runoff. Looks like a dead fish over there. No, dead fish or trash. Probably trash. I'm just kind of curious what this is. Is that a dead turtle? Oh, it's a dead catfish. It looked like a catfish. Someone cleaned a catfish and it washed up ashore. That's disgusting. Let's see. Where is it in the camera? That kind of looks like it. Yeah, that's it. Big old dead catfish. There's a skeleton. I thought I saw something weird on the bank over here. Someone cleaned it. At least they like utilized the meat. Like they obviously cleaned the fish. They didn't just like catch it and kill it, you know? I'm not a fan of that. Catch and release or keep it and eat it. Don't just catch a fish and kill it, you know? I mean, sometimes you can't help it and you gut hook one on accident. It's just kind of part of it, unfortunately. You know, I like fishing for the fight. You know, that's part of the fishing. Just to feel that feel the excitement of fighting something that can win the battle, you know? It's like it's a battle. Can you win this battle? Because that's I'm not gonna say it's just a man thing. I mean, women definitely get into engaging in the battle, but it's like a man thing, you know, we're meant for war. We want to fight. That testosterone, always wanting to fight something. I'm not always wanting to fight something like literally. Like I don't want to go out and pick a fight with someone because it's just stupid. But most of us have it wired inside of it. I'm a fight. I'm not a flight. Like if you're coming at me, you're coming at the wrong person. I will just say that much. It's starting to rain, guys. It's not gonna stop me from fishing, but like I may look unassuming. I may look like a happy, positive, spunky little dude, whatever. I mean, I'm not a small dude. I'm not a big dude either. I'm an average dude. Let's just say that. 5'11", 200 pounds now. I hate to even say I'm like 190 something, whatever. I gotta lose some weight. I'm just an average dude. But when you get that average dude going, you get his adrenaline kicking, you start threatening his territory. That average dude doesn't become something else. And I know a lot of you guys have tapped into that something else before. You've had to. You're just not a man if you haven't, you know? I mean, women deal with it too. I know that for a fact that women have that inside of them, but for the most part, it's just something put in men. There's some bubble right there. I don't know if that's an alligator or a turtle or alligator gar. Okay, thanks Solo for the update. There, yeah, tonight's supposed to be like tornado. You guys had the tornado weather last night. I saw a lot of people in the chat for like, we're under tornado warning. That's gonna be me tonight. Let's see here. Catching up on the chat, guys. Prince was an absolute beast of a musician. That's one artist that I kind of feel bad that muddy water monsters lurking. Yeah, you're right. Let's see here. Yep, we're gonna get it tonight while we're sleeping. That always seems to be typically seems to be the case. Those things always like to roll through when everyone's sleeping and no one's prepared for it, and then you wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. I'm like if it's storming, I want to like watch it and like I don't know. I'm fascinated with it. I mean, I'm partly scared of it, but partly fascinated by it. Partly scared of it because I've dealt with the worst that weather can deal with you. You know what I mean? I've experienced the bad side of the weather, and that part's scary. But yeah, Prince, man, I wish I had more appreciation for him when he was alive. Cause I mean, I'd never hated his music, but I never understood who he was as a musician. And before he passed away, like, as I got older, I started watching more videos and, like, seeing him, like, perform, and he would just go off script of his music and just start jamming. Dude, that guy is probably one of the best musicians to ever live. He was a musical just genius, powerhouse freak. Like, if I mean, you hear a lot of his stuff and it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's upbeat, Purple Rain's like one of the most iconic songs, and what Little Red Corvette, all that stuff. Well, I can't, I mean, and then his register, like, his range is insane, like, how m how many people can sing, like, 3 different octaves? Chris Cornell's one of them. Prince is one of them. I don't know who else can sing that many registers. Chris Cornell is probably my top vocal artist. If I had to say who's my favorite vocal artist, I would have to say Chris Cornell. Going back to music talk. Stone Temple Pilots is probably my all-time favorite band. We were having this discussion in someone else's live. I think it was SoCal. There, everyone was talking about. No, SoCal was talking about who he liked in someone else's live. Who was that? Man. Anyway, Stone Temple Pilots would have to be my all-time favorite band. Followed by Deftones. Now, I am Christian. I live for God, but I just love rock and roll. There are a lot of cool Christian rock bands that I do listen to as well. Finally, like, that was one of my struggles growing up, like, trying to, like, go to church and be a good dude, but I loved rock and roll. There was just, like, no good Christian music back in the day. Like, it was, Jars of Clay were, like, kind of on the edge of wanting to be rock, but not really. And then, DC Talk, that's it. Jesus Freak. That was kinda like the turning point of Christian music. When DC Talk wrote that song, Jesus Freak. I would stay up until, like, midnight to watch the music video for Jesus Freak because I was just like, "Finally, a cool Christian rock song." And then that kinda got me turned around thinking, "Okay, there's alright, I can handle this." And then DC Talk kinda got away from that, and but it helped kinda pave the way for other bands like Spoken. If you guys have never heard of the band called Spoken, Spoken, it's a Christian rock band. I think they're kinda like the problem with the Christian rock bands, unfortunately, is they get popular, then they get swept up into the mainstream, and then they lose the Christianity and start doing drugs and all that stuff. Disciple is probably one of the few Christian rock bands that have held true to their beliefs, and it's in their music. I mean, that is their music. Disciple is an awesome Christian rock band, if that's your thing. Even if you don't like Christian music, if you're not a believer in Jesus and all that stuff, check out the band Disciple. My goodness, they rock. I say, Third Day, Petra. There are a couple earlier rock bands in DC. They were all about the same era. Well, Petra was like in the 80s. So, Disciple, um, Switchfoot, obviously, but Switchfoot, they're kind of they walk the line, you know. They're kind of mainstream and Christian all in the same. They walk the line. Let's just say that. Um, there's a local guy out here. He became bigger than local though. He became popular. Jason Morant. that dude is a beast of a musician. Christian artist, really good music, like quality music, not just your like E, C, E minor, C, G, D major, playing the same four chords and writing 1,000 songs over the same four chords musician. This dude is a pure musician. Jason Morant. Morant. You guys should look that dude up. Again, like even if you're not a Christian or whatever, it's just good music. Like I just like good music. And that's why I struggle because I like rock and roll. I just like good music. So some people are like, oh, you gotta live it's either all or none. Like I get it. I get it. But I am human. I have human emotions and I have like there's things that make me tick. You know what I mean? Like if I'm at work and I'm floating sheetrock all day, the last thing I want to listen to is some hill songs. Like I will fall asleep and I'll be on the floor like taking a nap. I want something that's gonna get me through the day, that gives me a jolt and says, "Yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's get this junk knocked out." I think that's the drive of why I like rock and roll. I'm gonna get back on the chat. Jay Fish. All right, hold up, Jay. Hold up, you ready? Today's your day, my friend. All right. Jay Fish, welcome in. You've been actively hanging out in the chat for the past month or so. I put that blue, it's a shield, it's not even a wrench anymore. Well, I guess the wrench is like full on moderator. There's only a handful of people like full on. But welcome to the community of the mod squad. Dude, could you see me fall asleep hanging sheetrock, right? Floating up sheetrock. Let's see here. Let me go back in the chat and catch up with you guys. I've been just talking my head off while I'm fishing, guys. I apologize. Well, I don't apologize, but let's see here. Tornado touchdown in Illinois, man. Yeah, hell isn't. I'm glad we don't have hail. Well, we do have hail down here sometimes, but it's not a regular thing. Yeah. I hope you guys are all right, Albie. Team on our win. Dust blowing everywhere. Jay, welcome. I'm really thanks for joining in. No, it is not good to fall asleep on a ladder. That's why I listen to rock and roll. Oh, I got 3 minutes, man. Time goes by fast when you're talking. Let's take 5 casts and just see if something messes up. I'm gonna do some real fishing pretty soon, guys. Well, next week I'm gonna go live on the New Orleans lakefront. We're targeting big fish. I'm gonna throw my cast net, try to catch some mullet, some live bait. We'll have some cut bait. We'll have garlic infused marshmallows. We'll have orange pills. We're gonna try it all. But I'm gonna target. We're gonna go for alligator gar, fish, and black drum. I saw the black drummer starting to run out there. This is about the time that they start coming close to shore. I don't know. I guess maybe that's how they spawn. I don't know, but I saw some people catching black drum out there, so that's a good sign. So keep an eye out for that next week, guys. I will be going live one evening and fishing the New Orleans lakefront for big fish. Today it's just a day in between jobs. This is just my little spot that I go to fish. I don't even know if I put a title on. Yeah, I think I did. My not so daily fishing report. This is it. I'm not actively like, going after where I know fish are. This is just the spot I am stuck to because the south wind is blowing too hard to fish on the other wall, the other seawall that I fish out here. It's gonna be too muddy. I think that was cast number 2. Really appreciate you guys joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Depending on how the job goes, I might be back out here this afternoon, guys. I just have to put one more float on the repair, and then tomorrow I'm sanding and spraying texture. And then Friday I'll be priming and painting. So that's my schedule for the rest of the week. I don't think tomorrow I will have time because it's going to take me a couple hours to sand. Then I got to cover all the tools in the garage, all the, the people's possessions with plastic. That's going to take a couple hours. It'll take me 5 minutes to spray the texture, but all the prep work that goes into it is going to take most of the day. So I don't think I'm going to be fishing tomorrow. Friday is going to be a paint day. I'm going to be painting all day, so I won't be fishing Friday. Saturday looks like good weather, but I don't know what the wife and I have planned. We might be going to a tractor pool. I'm not gonna go. I mean, you guys, it would be fun to go live and you guys can watch the tractor pool, but you know, Dan, a regular viewer on here, Daniel Benedict, said something wise. Not everything has to be recorded. So, as much as I like to bring you guys on and show you most of my life, or part of my life, I should say, I don't have to go live on everything. I would want to. Like, I would be like Jim Carrey in that what's that movie where they're all like it's pretty much a live stream of his life. He's on the monitors and all. Oh man, what's the name of that movie? You know what I'm talking about, where he's stuck in the little city and they're doing everything they can to keep him in the city because I saw that movie one time, but it was hilarious. And the whole premise of the movie was like he finally saw outside of his regular life. Uh, all right, that was way too many casts. Let's see. Yep, I gotta go. One more cast. I'm gonna work this one kind of slow, take one more cast, and I gotta go to work. I might be back out though. Who knows? Really appreciate you guys being here. 45 likes. Blowing it up in here today for the Not So Daily Fishing Report. No fish today, guys, if you're in the area. I'm surprised Mason isn't in here. Mason, he lives out here down the street somewhere, and he would pop in to see if I catch fish. So it was kind of my way of showing everyone around here, hey, we're catching trout, or we're catching redfish, or we're not catching anything. So, but not many of the local people while I'm doing this during the daytime. Kind of curious to see if they go back and watch the live stream though. That'd be kind of interesting to know. Last cast, guys, for real. I'm gonna let it sink to the bottom and jig it on. I'm gonna check the chat real quick before I leave and get out of here. Isaac, welcome in. Albie, actually in muddy water, you want to use dark colors, but I just have this on and I don't feel like walking back to my car and changing it. I probably should. All right, so out here in South Louisiana, when the water's muddy, you want to use dark colors. There's a guy out here that I watch, Marshman Mazon, and he's actually done tests. Like he's fished in these conditions, and he'll put a camera on the lure, and he'll show you what it looks like in the muddy water. And darker colors in muddy water have a better silhouette than brighter colors. You would think a bright color would stand out, but it's the exact opposite. Dark colors, black, dark browns, dark greens, that's what you want to use in muddy water. Clear water, you do want to use a clearer bait like I'm using right now. More natural colors, a lighter green, maybe white, White, you can use white's like the universal color lure. You can use that in pretty much any condition. But no, bright colors in our area are not necessarily better. Now, if you use a lure with contrast, like if you use something with a bright color and a dark color, it's contrast. You're looking for contrast. So that's kind of the whole concept out here. Yeah, solo. My wife's not a fan of being on camera, so honestly, she doesn't like going out in the public too much at all because all the crazy people seem to come out whenever she comes out. So, and I've been witness to it multiple times. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why she doesn't go out because all the crazies come out whenever she comes out. All right, Ronnie, I appreciate you being in here, man. Really do. Yeah, Albie, it does. It goes against what your brain would think. Like you would think the brighter, the shinier the color, the better it would be in muddy water, but it's the exact opposite. You want to use like a dark color when you're fishing artificial lures, which I don't have a dark lure. That's probably half the reason why I'm not getting bites too. So, but yep. Now, I mean, and that's been proven. Like it's not like a yeah, let's guess what color works the best or in my mind that's what would work the best. Like Marshman actually has done physical tests in different water. Like if man, you guys need to look up Marshman Mazon, Masson. If you're not subscribed to Marshman Mazon, now he fishes out here in Southeast Louisiana. So but what he does, you can apply pretty much everywhere. Like he really goes into a lot of he's an excellent angler and he's very smart. Let's just say that. Um he has a lot of pool videos where he tests lures against each other. Like say swim baits, right? He's got so many pool videos. The pool videos are the coolest. Go back. You need to go to Marshman Mazon. Check out his pool test videos. He'll take like a swim bait like this, matrix shad. He'll use a DOA. He'll use Deadly Dudley, H&H, whatever, like all the different local brands for us. And he'll test them side by side in a pool, and you can see the action. And he'll rate them and all that stuff. And it's very clear. Like there's no bias at all. It's completely non-biased because you see the evidence. He'll he, he did like jerk baits, popping cork. Like what would work best under a popping cork? Here I am taking another cast. I gotta shut up and go to work. It's been a fun chat today, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining in. It was fun talking and hanging with you guys. I'm gonna go float some sheetrock. But yeah, check out Marsh, 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 like I'm fishing in the marsh. Man, Man, Mazon, Masson. That dude is an absolute legend in these parts. He used to write fish outdoors articles for the newspaper, the news, all that stuff. He was a writer for a living, and he fishes all the waters here in Southeast Louisiana, and he's really good at it. And I've learned a lot by watching his videos. So, anytime there's two people that he learned a lot from, Marshman Mazon, Ty Sutherland, his channel. If you are not subscribed to 30 Miles Out, you need to be. He's kind of on the retirement side of life. So he's just putting out a lot of short videos and stuff. He doesn't do like long content too much anymore. But if you go back and watch all of his videos, you can learn a lot from him too as well. And those are the two main people that I've learned what I know from out here in South Louisiana, and it's applicable pretty much everywhere I've gone fishing. Like all the principles I've learned, all the techniques that I've learned, I've been able to apply everywhere and with effectiveness. Not just like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Like I've caught fish everywhere I've gone based off of the things that I've learned from those two gentlemen. Now, Ty Sutherland, I've had the honor and privilege to call a friend and fish with him several times, and I can call him and reach out to him anytime if I have questions. So, Ty, if you're watching, I really appreciate your friendship, bro. You and Teresa mean the world to me, and I would not be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for you guys. Marsh, man, Mazon, if you're watching this, I'd love to go fish with you sometime. Man, you're just an absolute legend, and man, I'd love to do an article for Marsh Bayou. You know, you're always right. You used to write articles about everyone else and all the fishing. And oh wait, hold up, guys, check this out. It's an ibis. Man, I've never seen an ibis on the North Shore before. They're like all over on the South Shore. Check that out. That is called an ibis. IBIS. That's a cool bird. Look at that beak. I am all over the map today, guys. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. That's cool. I really should have been a bird watcher, like a that's probably what I'm gonna do when I'm old. I'm gonna watch birds for a living. Go out with my binoculars and write down all the different birds I've seen in life and all that stuff. All right, sorry, I'm rambling on. Thanks to all the moderators in here keeping it real. Thanks for all the new people who have tuned in and have subscribed. If you're new in here and you're still in here, please consider subscribing. Oh, we're almost at 50 likes. Heck yeah. All right, Tony, appreciate you, man. I'll try to come back if I can. Um, Maybe the tide will turn around and it'll clean up in that canal and maybe we'll catch something. Ferg Jams is my other channel, by the way. I play music and I started a new channel. So if you guys want to check out my other channel, Ferg Jams. Appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one. Ferg out.